Welcome to the Carmel and Butcher Show. My name is Amata efe-oghene. Today, all the way in Lagos, Nigeria, we're sitting with the man himself, who is the president of the Directors Guild of Nigeria, who comes from a family of veteran actors and directors, and who is Fred Amata. Welcome to the show.
You didn't tell me that you were from the same village as I'm from. I thought you
Sorry,
were from
that was
Sierra
a nice
Leone.
surprise, a very nice surprise.
I thought you were said from Sierra Leone. How come your name is from Robo Isoko?
Yes, it's
That is where I come from.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you see,
we're family.
It's not only a name that we are related. Even
apparently.
Yeah. Not only Amata.
So you are a legend in Nollywood.
A legend is living.
You don't like the term legend?
We like legend to be something that really happened. And, when there's a real legend, it's a legend. It has lasted years. But as with society, people found a way to say living legend. But
okay, well, you are a living legend.
We all have a story.
And we'd like to hear your story.
Become legendary.
True, and we believe yours has. Or is, and it's still ongoing.
Because my story is still like work in progress.
Yes, that's very true. There's a question that I'm sure all our viewers would like to know, or to hear me ask.
I don't know.
Where have you been? We're not seeing you on the screen anymore. Yes, you're the president of the
biggest question I get these days, not just these days, for a few years now.
Okay.
They say, you have stopped acting. And my first reaction is, wait.
Okay.
Let me tell you this.
Okay. Are you behind the camera more, though?
Actor.
Always an actor.
So I've not stopped acting.
Okay, but are you behind the camera more? Because you direct
always been
as well.
Behind the camera.
And in front of it.
I am in front of it. So I don't know which one it is. At one point in time in the evolution of this phenomenon that we call Nollywood, I took a pause because of the kind of stuff that was coming in, kind of stories, the kind of storylines that were coming in and their treatment, looking for what that special work would be. And so it kind of slowed me down so people think I'm not around, and had a backlog when we had found a story and we're going to do it.
Have you found it now?
We're going to start pursuing it again, yeah.
When?
And then I became president of the Directors Guild.
Yes, so that's what I was thinking. Maybe that's what actually caused the delays.
And then when I became president of the Directors Guild, we're still pursuing this thing I'm talking about. But the challenges of administering a guild so huge, with a lot of strong opinionated directors. They're all the director.
Everybody's a director now, yeah.
A director is by nature a head.
Okay.
He's the leader, and then you are a leader of leaders, and everybody has his opinion. And so it took a toll, and only now I'm like finding my way and getting back.
When does your tenure end?
In less than a year.
Okay.
From now. So
what have you achieved so far? You're excited that it's ending?
Yeah, so.
But what have you been able to achieve so far? What would you say of your quick wins in coming in? What changes have you made?
The achievements I've made, sometimes I look at them, they're not things that you want to boast about because they are things that should have been there long since. For instance, we never had a secretariat like this, but now we have a secretariat that is big enough and prestigious enough to host the Apex Guild in the industry. We had simple things like constitution that was not there, that was not there, that had been long overdue for a review.
Okay.
We managed to achieve that. We set out to somehow unify all the various guilds and associations in the industry and set up a unified healthcare scheme called Nollywood.
Okay.
And is the first of its kind to be signed to by almost like 15 different guilds and associations: Actors Guild, Producers Guild, Directors Guild, Writers Guild, and all the other associations, ITPAN, MOPAN.
Okay, based on what you've said and all those different groups, that would bring me to one of the questions that we have which is a case of, so currently what you find is within the entertainment industry, you have different individuals who are going onto platforms like Netflix, Fox, and they're actually promoting their products or their movies. And it would be great to see that unified stance where the industry of itself within the country is growing on those platforms. But you're not seeing that.
Yeah, and it is also causing for poorer valuation of the works. What do I mean? If you had a collective that could say, no, this is what our entry is, it is more difficult to bargain them down.
Yeah, so who determines that?
What is happening in the industry is that there seems to be a lull in the evolution, a space where, how have we put it? Like Obama put it, we have stronger individuals than institutions. And this anomaly is helping, so people go out on their own. We have tried for years to put a council together that will look at the exact evolution, the challenges that are coming up, and prefer solutions to this, whether it's for actors or writers or directors, and that is lacking.
So from what I'm hearing, there doesn't seem to be much development within the industry as a whole. There's no, what I'd say is I don't see any tangible growth.
Unionized system that helps to say, okay, if for instance, if there's somebody who's an editor and these are his work hours, and these are the basic contracts for this and this, and these things must be checked. Now those things don't exist, so though they exist within the guild system, we have different codes and ethics and conducts. Before now, we used to adhere to, but with the influx, with the development even in technology, especially with the Netflixes, everybody coming on with television becoming, for instance, my Instagram page, for instance. So everybody has a TV station and everybody can reach out.
Like our channel, we just go on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. Now, but YouTube can control you.
In terms of your content?
Yeah. But you don't have a bargaining. You do not. When you say this like this, it is like that. Whether it is positive, negative, it suits you, but usually it will suit them. So in society, really, you need the balance where they come together, like what the United Artists did in America. They come together and say, no, you can't be treating us like this. These are the minimum standards that you must treat us with. And that is now in the industry basically determined by who you're working with.
It does sound very hard. So you talking about Instagram, for instance, being your TV. Yes, no, I have a question to ask you. So before coming for this meeting, obviously I had to do my research, etc., and then searched on all the social media channels. You don't have much of a presence there. Is that deliberate? Or is it because you're a veteran and you don't really know how?
Maybe it's closer to that. It's closer to that, actually. But somehow I never can really get around to do it. I don't know why. It's a terrible thing for me, but you see I'm stammering.
Yeah, you'd have such a large fan base, you know, so, because usually, you know, whenever we have reviews to do, we take
we are old school. I can't
so
write it. For instance, I cannot write a letter.
Kids?
Without longhand.
Okay, kids? You've got kids?
I got 3 kids.
You've got 3 kids? So do you
my
want to
kids
ask?
are no longer kids, though.
Yeah, so we want to ask one of them or their
I remember the
young
first
friends.
time my daughter said she was doing Snapchat or something.
Yeah, you were like, what's that?
I
I still don't have the hang of Snapchat, so yeah.
Okay, so but
I think Instagram is as far as I can go.
I think
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
I don't like Snapchat, especially all those flowers that suddenly pop up.
Yeah, the emojis. Yes, so obviously that's deliberate.
And it's not deliberate.
Okay.
It's something I'm not happy about. But getting around, for instance, Instagram is mostly pictures, and the people
You'd be
who
amazed.
every day you take picture. Me to take story, like, what, take picture every day? Yeah? Come on.
It might be what you're doing, so what you've
Yeah,
achieved.
and
It's also a way of selling yourself out there.
You
don't need to sell yourself.
I'm not arguing with that.
Oh, okay.
No. You always need to sell yourself. Who are you? Coca-Cola can never stop selling themselves.
True.
So you always do need to sell yourself.
Yeah.
So it's not something I'm proud of.
Okay. Okay. So obviously we're hoping that that's something you could look into.
It's something I've been looking into.
Okay.
We're hoping that attitudes will change sooner than later.
Okay. Before the interview started, I told you that I was from Sierra Leone,
Yes,
and obviously you've had some really great experiences in Sierra Leone.
How do I say?
It sounds like.
There were really great experiences,
Okay.
but really great and really unfortunate.
Okay.
So, how many years ago is this? 2011 or something like that?
Okay. So that's just after the war.
I was in Sierra Leone. Yeah, just after the war.
Yeah.
When one 18-year-old girl let me know that, look, you try that again, I'll show you that I've been in a war.
Really? Okay, she was just trying to scare you.
No, I don't think so. By then, I already understood that you don't joke with what women say.
Okay.
So I didn't think so. But she's a great friend now.
Okay.
Okay, I'll tell the story. I'll tell you what. She's one of the producers who have developed from what happened in that particular production. A film called Beibure Goes to War.
Okay.
You must know Beibure.
Baibure, yeah.
Oh, Baibure.
Yeah.
It's like somebody does
there
not
was,
know
There was a book
Azikiwe,
on
or
it.
somebody does not know.
Yes. No, we all know the history of Baibure.
For instance, so
yeah.
Where this guy, Major Abu Noah, was one
Abu
time,
Noah, yeah.
Big guy in Sierra Leone, was head of the army or so, something like that.
Yeah.
And legendary sharpshooter, because he used to toss a coin up in the air and shoot at it. So he writes books. So he had written a play, Baibure Goes to War. He came to Nigeria and wanted us to do it. And we set up a large team, really large team. And we took off to Sierra Leone. And we had people like Genevieve Naji, Omotola, Zakoji, Olu Jacobs, myself. It was a powerful...
Yeah, sounds like a powerful setup, yeah.
Gathering. And then with the Sierra Leonean crew who had been doing the same play on stage, we converted it to a screenplay, and we did what I thought was a great film.
Okay.
And we had a huge premiere in Sierra Leone. Unfortunately, the president couldn't come, but the president was supposed to be the guest of honor. On the last minute, something happened; he couldn't make it, and the vice president came on. It was a wonderful screening, and then we're trying to release the film. And they had some challenges, and Abu Noah died. So Abu Noah was married to this white woman who did not believe in the film in the first instance, and the film went through challenges. Every good film goes through a challenging process, and she got really tired and angry with it. So by the time the man died, she just would not release the masters.
Wow.
And I don't know what happened to her. She's no longer in Sierra Leone or something. We can't reach her.
Oh, such a shame.
The film is lost.
Such a shame.
So it's one of the most... imagine you do a film with a
that's
huge
so
cast
disappointing.
and story and adventure and chase, and it was about sacrifice, self-sacrifice. So it was a twist that this girl, they needed a virgin to die for the salvation of the country, and Baibure was going to war, and the whites were coming in, and one young girl volunteers. And so it's
that was Genevieve,
That's
right?
Genevieve, yeah. Of course, that was Genevieve. And then Motola was the wicked chief priestess, something called Yadiba. You
I
know,
don't know.
Yadiba. And then there was a real Yadiba on set, and she was lovely. And so he died. But many years later, some of the people who we had worked with started coming saying they want to start making films. So at least 3 or so different people are now filmmakers.
Yeah, I think that's Desmond Finney. Who comes to Nigeria a lot. And so that's also going to bring me to my next question, which was a lead on what I asked earlier. And that is, it's great, you know, because one of my questions was the fact that there have been collaborations, but there haven't been any significant, huge collaborations. And I think obviously what you just mentioned was one of them. So pity it never saw the light of day.
So it's not in the annals.
Yes, but is there a possibility of there being something that's a real, tangible connection? Because part of my visit here tonight in Nigeria as well is to be able to create that link once again between Nigeria and Sierra Leone, especially when it comes to entertainment and the arts.
Yeah, I think it's getting better now. Up until only recently, there were no international co-production treaties between Nigeria and almost virtually anywhere in the world, up until only recently. But I think the new Nigerian Film and Video Censors Board, he just did something which will enable more collaborations to be possible between Nigeria and outside countries. So, and there's been a huge push and a huge hue and cry from within the sector to say, no, we need to sign co-production treaties. We need to sign, and so it's getting better now. But like Nigerians, what we always do,
what they would always
is that we do the collaboration.
Yeah.
And it will be one, and so there's a lot of that going on.
Okay.
There's a lot of that going on.
Okay. And for you as an individual, so you mentored Amata, you mentored Genevieve, correct? You discovered them, so to speak. Was it you?
There are a lot of discoveries in the industry, but for both of them, I had periods of major influence in their careers. For Motola, there was a film we did called The Prostitute. It was groundbreaking. I think Bob worked on that. It was a groundbreaking approach to directing a film, and it was very well received. In fact, in them days when the distribution of film was dominated by the marketers in the market, and so it was only their films that could cross 50,000 copies. This film from an independent producer crossed 50,000 copies, and on the day it crossed, we had a huge party. And Motola was the lead in that one. Then for Genevieve, I used to direct a soap called Ripples.
Yes, I remember that.
Long before Nollywood.
Yes, that used to be on NTA.
And it used to be on NTA. And Genevieve was a child actor there. I didn't really recognize her until much later. By the time we did a film called, it was Ijele. Ijele is the title of the biggest masquerade. So this guy had written the script where Ijele was impersonated by a guy, and he had to protect the village, and he had to fight against some huge force, but he needed the priestess of the ring to bless him, and Genevieve was the priestess of the ring. Was she beautiful in that film? It was a nice film.
Oh, that's lovely.
And so that broke a lot of grounds, because you discover in the growing years that there will be a talent that's available but still raw.
And it's also making use of the opportunities that come your way, isn't it?
And then
grabbing them.
Sometimes you get a major production and the right director is not on it. So maybe it's a director who is more technical in approach, and so the pictures will be beautiful, but the performance will not match the beauty. So, but I have a background in theatre arts, and I studied how to develop actors. So, if you are going to be acting in a major film I was doing, you will be doing better than you normally do.
That's very good.
But First of all, you need a talent. But one thing I discover about talents is that they are bound in Africa.
Oh yes, definitely.
It's just destiny or luck or the X factor that you see some shine and others don't. We have a story of one of the best actresses we could ever think of in Nigeria, and she just wouldn't.
Who's that?
Become a superstar. She's now in church somewhere. She has stopped acting. She's now serving the Lord.
She's an older one.
Evangelist or something, yes.
She does comedy as well. She's very funny in movies,
she doesn't do comedy. She does serious movies. She's good.
What's her name?
She's married to my friend. What are you saying? Edith Jane Azu. And she's nowhere to be found. Oh, good gracious, that lady's.
But she's serving the Lord, so she's fulfilling her own destiny.
No, my question is, if God gives you the acting talent, why are you using it to...
Maybe there's another talent.
Why are you using it to preach?
So you mentioned a lot of old movies in the past that were very successful. Would you not look at the possibility of remakes, wherein those remakes can also be pushed on a more global platform, as opposed to just...
I am so confident that very soon...
Because Hollywood does that all the time.
That's what I want to say now. Very soon we'll soon start to do like Hollywood.
Yes,
plenty remakes.
yes.
And there are a lot.
Yeah.
But my number one for a remake that would be a blockbuster is a film called Igodo. They should make that film. They should remake Igodo. Then I can make a few of my films. But Igodo.
That was directed by you?
No.
Okay.
I was not even involved in it at all. So it was directed by the former president of the Directors Guild.
Okay,
Amenchi.
Okay.
And Don Pedro Abasaki.
Okay.
But it's borrowed from the theme of the Night of 1,000 Demons or something, Forest of 1,000 Demons. It's where a human is sent into the spirit world to recapture something that saves humanity. And so Wole Soyinka has a take on it.
Oh wow.
What's his own called? But that's how big the idea is, and every culture, from what I found out, has one or two similar stories of sometimes the girl carrying a pot that crosses the boundary between
life and death,
life and spiritual, and goes into the spirit world. When I was a kid, I was told a story, and this guy who went there had to carry salt and different palm oil and stuff.
To be able to go across.
That he used to go through, because he gets to one place, he has to give them salt. I don't know, there was ants. There are ants. They are going to attack him, so you have to put salt around where you so you could sleep. And he said,
lovely folk tales, really nice.
So it has that folk tale background and everybody. So, and it has the same kind of Thor character and all those superstars, and it's a tragedy, funny enough.
Oh wow, okay.
It's a tragedy, and it's also sacrifice, because Sam Dede was the lead, and he dies at the end, and it's his blood that
redeemed everybody.
Redeems.
Cool.
So
sounds like
the remake of Igodo, but there are so many.
They are.
That's just my favorite to be remade.
Okay. Well, on the internet, it says that you were divorced. So if you don't Google yourself once in a while. You're very humble.
I used to in those
That's
days.
very nice.
I used to in those days. But now it's just...
Yeah, it says that you're divorced. So that's not accurate?
That's accurate. That's correct.
Okay. Are you remarried?
I don't know if I feel to.
Why?
I don't know. I never know.
Well, you're Nollywood fine boy.
So
you don't want to be settled down anymore.
So that cancels it.
So you don't want to be tied down anymore. You don't want to be tied down anymore.
No, every man should settle at some point.
Okay. So you're still looking, or you found but still trying to make up your mind?
I'm still playing soccer, but I have a bad knee. I play football now, and that's the truth. Yeah, I have a bad knee, so I'm still playing football. Okay.
Well, we wish you all the best in that regard. And your kids?
No, I'm not about to go and play professional football.
I know.
It's just recreational football.
I know, I understand.
Sunday,
okay, I understand that.
I hope you do.
Okay, I think it's getting a bit complicated. So let's move on to the kids part.
Okay.
So I think did you say you had 3 kids?
Yep.
Okay. And you say they are all fully grown now, obviously?
Well, 2 are fully grown.
Okay.
My son, a boy who I'm very proud of. My first class son, made me a first class daddy.
Oh.
He made the first class in economics from and went to London School of Economics. So
Wow, well done.
that is really, you know.
I can imagine.
So anybody
You
wants
puff your
to
chest.
know, yeah. And then
That's good.
his younger sister, my daughter, Stephanie, just graduated.
Okay.
Guess what?
First class as well?
No, she's a director.
Oh, really?
Yes, so the president of DGN,
Oh, wow.
his daughter became a film graduate as a director in his tenure.
Well done. And the third?
And then
Sounds like the third's much younger.
The third is from another relationship.
Okay.
And she's still in secondary school.
Okay, so that's your baby.
Yeah, baby.
You're spoiling her.
She's spoiling her daddy.
Oh, that's lovely. That's very good. So, with usually what happens within the African sphere, once you finish with one certain stage, so what comes next? Are we thinking politics here, which is usually the trend?
If you look at me, probably I don't. So.
Okay, you mean it's too late for you to go into politics?
No. If that was my interest, I should.
Okay, you'd have started a long time ago.
I don't. I mean, I've been around for a long while. I guess if politics was my real interest, I should have taken off a long time ago. Being president of DGN was not. I didn't view it from a political point of view. I looked at it and felt that I was selfless enough to make the changes that needed to be made and put in place so that the evolution would move properly. But it has not been easy.
Where do you get funding from?
Nowhere.
So how do you get funding?
Beg, borrow, steal.
Okay, so it is tough.
It's really, really tough. It's really, really tough.
So
But
yes,
recently we just
like
had a
sacrifice.
windfall.
Ah.
Only recently. In fact, we have not even... we were thinking of out-of-the-box ways to raise funds for the Guild. This is the 20th anniversary of the Guild, really.
This year?
This year. So we're having a major do in November.
Okay.
And in pursuing support to be able to achieve that.
Are we invited? Carmel
Of course,
yeah.
of course. We're conferring the status of patron on, ironically, a guy who comes from the same place as efe-oghene.
Really?
Yes.
Who's that?
His name is Engineer Dan Omoibo.
Okay.
And he has promised quite a lot.
Okay.
He believes that the Directors Guild needs to be more, what's the word, supported.
Mm-hmm.
And so that some of the structures that need to be put in place, he can support us to achieve it. He wants to make a big impact on the entertainment scene, and apparently he can.
What does he do?
He does a lot of contracts. He's a contractor in the oil sector. So,
okay. Yeah, that's very good.
So
What do you do for pleasure?
Well, I do a lot of games. I like games.
Okay. Board games?
Board games, chess, Scrabble.
Okay.
Probably the reason why I'm not so active on Instagram.
Okay, so who do you play with?
The world. And that answer is really correct. It's on the internet, so...
So you do go on the internet?
Always.
Okay.
I said that's probably why I do not do so much of
social
Instagram
media.
and social media, because
and
it's just such
and but it does get very addictive. It can be addictive.
That's the point I've been trying to make. That's why I'm not...
Okay, but at least you do outdoor games as well, so that's good. The football,
outdoor games. I dance.
You dance?
I dance.
Okay.
I dance.
So where do you dance?
I like to go out. Anywhere.
Oh, you like going out? Okay. So what's the happening spot for our viewers in Sierra Leone listening?
In Sierra Leone, where did we go in Sierra Leone? Oh, Sierra Leone. By the way, guys, I've not seen a country that prepares for party. They will have party tomorrow.
You know we have...
Today. they will test the equipment. Heavy groove. Sierra Leone.
They're like the Yorubas.
No, Yoruba, we don't test equipment now. We start the groove. It can last for days. It'll be 3 days or 4 days, but that's what we test. Yeah. To prove to you that the party is going to be good, you go, you bring out your big loudspeaker, put it on the road, and everybody we gather and we dancing to the music.
Yes, we do, just like the
And then, I was telling you about some Sierra Leonean lady that I remember. Now I know why I remember her, because she hosted us up the hill.
It has a big pool.
Big swimming pool.
It's Aisha Johansson.
It's Aisha.
Yeah, it is Aisha, yeah.
I mean, just good. She was just such a diva.
Yeah.
She
heads the Sierra Leone Football Association at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think she sits on the board of FIFA or so. Or she has
possible.
some connections to
she
FIFA.
has connections.
I need to just double check that, yeah.
And our friend, Dele Momodu.
Yes, they're very close, yeah. Well, we're hoping that there would be opportunities for budding actors and actresses. I mean, you have said that there have been, a few instances in the works. But what we'd like to ask, and what I'm sure a lot of viewers in Sierra Leone would like to hear, is there a way or is there a channel in which some of these budding actors or actresses can, either enter into your industry in trying to grow themselves? So are you, or would your
well, first of all,
look at?
I think Sierra Leone is a big enough market for Sierra Leone.
No, but for them to grow, that's what I mean.
That's what I want to talk about, is how did Nollywood itself grow?
Okay. Cool.
Those same people who are looking for how to grow are the same people who grew
Nollywood.
With their blood, with our blood and
sweat and tears, yeah.
My first film, I borrowed 25,000 naira from my wife's auntie. And she said, keep it, after a while.
Yeah.
But that was what I used to shoot my first film. And then appeal to everybody. I beg you, so we want to do this film. You see the script, I like it. And then we used, in our case, my brother and I, what we did.
Was that Jetta?
No, Ruke.
Ruke, okay.
It was a Christian film, so we went through, we had an audition in, was it Christ Embassy or something? I had several auditions in all various calls, and then send messages to all them, so we could appeal to them. And because he had a very strong Christian thing. And 25,000 was never going to be enough just to feed the cast and crew, but that's all we had. And we managed, the money finished, production stopped. The cameraman said he's not shooting again.
Oh, wow.
We begged and he begged, no way. We had to beg another cameraman to take nothing to shoot it, and he agreed. And then what happened? And in fact, ironically, there were the two cameramen I took to Sierra Leone. The two people who worked on my first film, even including the guy who abandoned me halfway. But we did that. I remember the incident about a year after shooting, when Alex Osifo Umiagbo came to my house and said, "Fred, I will beat you today." This guy has a black belt, man. And he was pissed. He was angry. But there was no money. It was terrible. So what I'm trying to say, they've got to put themselves in it. They've got to make a lot of sacrifice. And it's even easier now. It's compared to our time. There was no
tapes.
There was no other way.
Yeah.
Now you can make a film with your phone.
Yeah, that's true.
The audience, somebody was saying yesterday at the colloquium that they had, that the audience has changed. That his 5-year-old son took his phone and made several video and said, took this and said, "Daddy,
I put it together.
this is my film, I don't know how to edit it." And the dad's an editor and he put it together. It was his film.
Yeah.
And the guy said, and he met his audience. Who was his audience? His younger sister, who was excited that his brother was doing, and the parents. That was the audience. That's okay. And if he was, and so he's a whole TV station. So if he opens a page, YouTube, Instagram, whatever, and posts that picture, he has started his work.
Yes, true.
So they should look more at that.
Yeah.
And because it is from there. There's a story of the young girl that's a big girl now in Nigeria. But who?
Emanuela.
Emanuela.
Oh, wow.
So Emanuela is like anybody in Sierra Leone.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
what does she really look out for is, I have the talent, I can do it. Maybe training. And Emanuela is a very good story.
Yeah.
So now she has sufficient money to make, or she has access to sufficient money to make a kind of film. What was that boy's name that produces her? That's how it is. That's what they should look at.
Okay.
Because everything is available now. Nobody in our days, okay, I worked a lot with the Nigerian television stations. They will vet everything you do. You cannot even be a director unless you are in the hierarchy from level 10 up. You cannot direct anything that goes on TV. Today you can be a 5-year-old boy and direct your film and go give your daddy.
Yeah.
Times have changed.
Yeah,
so,
the world has changed.
If we then did not look at those things as challenges, that we're driven by the fear that we will be hungry for the rest of our life, they should put some effort to it. But apart from that, the environment is changing, and like you asked, there will definitely be more collaborations.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much for that, and I'm sure the audience are very happy to receive that response.
It's my pleasure. Thank the government for their intervention, for their interventions.
I know.
But they should understand the industry a lot better and take more advice from those who
have walked the path, so to speak. Yeah.
Because there are two ways. There are those who walk the path. Those of us who actually walk the path just build the industry.
Okay.
Those who are coming in are trying to build the business. So they come with business models. And they have the ear of the bigger, and so they look at the business models as working. But those were not what grew the industry. So they tend to deliver not exactly fit for purpose policies.
Okay. So let's pray that changes.
It's changing. People there are changing.
Okay.
And some kind of advocacy, despite the law, is happening.
Okay. Okay, good. Thank you so much, and thanks for having us on. Oh, thanks for joining and being on our show.
Amata.
Thank you so much. We've had the living legend on Carmel and Butcher, and this is a first for us, and we're really, really excited, and I'm sure you all enjoyed watching. Kindly watch, like, and subscribe to our YouTube page, Carmel and Butcher. Thank you for watching, and see you next week.